Hello there guys, it's me Harry, and if you remember in my last update video, I was going to do a video about Studio Ghibli DVDs from Japan, but I was waiting until Arrietty arrived. Well, Arrietty came today, but there's a problem, a very serious problem. I'm guessing you can tell right away. If you're familiar with Japanese Ghibli DVDs from the Ghibli Ippai collection, you can obviously tell that this isn't really supposed to be there. And if you look closely, this is a slipcover. No Ghibli Ippai releases, as far as I know, have slipcovers. And it's embossed as well, but if you look very closely, the embossing is slightly out of register. It just doesn't look right. It does have the Ghibli Ippai collection logo on the top, but don't be fooled by that. Says DTS on the bottom and DVD 9. And then when you open it up, you have the same cover again, except it's not embossed, but it's still got the rainbowy letter. And then on the side, you have what appears to be Chinese text. I think it talks about the movie itself. So that's enough. That's just another sign that this is not licensed. Yep, I received a counterfeit or bootleg version of this movie. And other than the fact that the side, or if I should say the flip side cover is in Chinese and the rest of the cover's in Japanese, that's just another sign. This thing is very poorly made. It's not even glued right, so this is supposed to be glued down, but they used very little glue to try and keep this slipcover together, so it falls apart really easily. And if Studio Ghibli DVDs in Japan did use slipcovers, they would not fall apart like that. So yeah, here's the back. It's all shiny as well. Once again, this is not on official releases. And then we have information that's just been duplicated from the real release. It's very fuzzy and it's very hard to read. All of this information is also ripped from the real DVD. And then it says this on the bottom in Japanese text other than the language selection. And on the real release, I don't have the real release, so I'm just showing you on my iPad. It has completely different text. This says Walt Disney Studios Japan, whilst this is just, well, I've translated it, and all you get is, well, all it reads is this. Wananina something. So I'm pretty certain that's probably just Chinese text that was translated into katakana. But yet this is, that's just a sign, because that's not, that does not say Walt Disney Studios Japan. So yeah, that's the front cover that gives it away. And then when you take it out of the slipcover, you feel it, and it feels pretty light. This is not the kind of DVD cover that you see Studio Ghibli using. Like, for instance, here's My Neighbors the Yamadas, the original 2000 release. It comes in a white cover, and it feels much better in quality. And it looks quite nice on the front and the back. And there you go. Let me just put this there, and I'll show you some other examples once I get to it. So, and if you look very closely, the Studio Ghibli little symbol on the bottom is in a completely different font. It does not look it doesn't look like what you'd see on the real Ghibli things. It does not look the same. And then on the left is where the Studio Ghibli logo is supposed to be. But of course, since this is a pirate bootleg, it's not there at all. Like, for instance, here's Tales from Earthsea. You can see Studio Ghibli logo on the left, DTS logo on the left of the bootleg version of Arrietty. And then here's the back, and another sign is that this obviously looks ink jetted, because it doesn't look right. like with, for instance, once again with My Neighbours the Yamadas, it looks nice and clear. You can see everything, whilst on this you can hardly really see the text at all. And then, hang on, let me just take it out of the cover just so I can show you. Like it does feel, it doesn't technically feel like it was printed out on a inkjet, but once again, it doesn't look right. You can just tell from like the quality alone that this kind of paper they don't use on the real Ghibli releases. Most, if you like with My Neighbours the Yamadas, it comes in a much more papery looking thing, and once again the text is very easy to read. It doesn't look anything like what that bootleg would do. So as for the case itself, it's incredibly cheap. It's very flimsy, and I'm pretty certain that if this was put in the sun, it would break in no time. So, and until around, let's say, 2002 or 3 or something, I don't remember when, most of the Ghibli re-releases came in white cases that have the DVD logo on top. They'll have a little hinge that has the first disc on, and the second disc would be on there, but since My Neighbours the Yamadas was a single disc release, it doesn't have those. And you also get like pamphlets for other releases sometimes if you get these used for like other Disney releases, and of course other Studio Ghibli movies and stuff like that. And this one comes with an issue of the manga that My Neighbours the Yamadas originated from. And I need to put the cover back on that one. But the main sign that this is another sign that this is a bootleg is, well, the disc also looks very off. It doesn't look like something you'd find on, as I said, it wouldn't be something you'd find on a real Disney release. So let me get My Neighbours the Yamadas. So like for comparison, this has a lot of text on it. This has a lot of text on it that describes the DVD and what it's like and the region code it's on, which is region 2 at NTSC. And it says the distributor's name and the copyright. Whilst this DVD does not have any of that, and it obviously looks like that this is just a label printed out. It has a Ghibli Ippai collection special logo on the bottom, which isn't used on actual Ghibli movies. DVD logo is off. Dolby Digital, well, I'm not sure if these don't use Dolby Digital at all. Because as I said, this has the DTS digital thingy, but this has Dolby Digital, so they messed up the logos on there as well. And then it has a little product number, which I'm guessing is from what the maybe whatever company released this. Probably somewhere in China or Malaysia, because that's where Ghibli bootlegs are mostly known to appear in. And then what is weird is these look pretty much identical from the bottom. This is actually, well, if you look very closely, it does sort of look off. It doesn't have the ring that that burned CDRs have, but I still do believe this might be a DVD-R. So on the legitimate DVD, if you look very closely, you can see little barcodes and text in relation to the release. See, it labels the product number and everything. On the bootleg, because this is probably a burned CDR, all you really have is a barcode. Well, you have a little product number, which probably has nothing to do with this release. But it also has a little DVD logo on there, which I've seen before on other Ghibli bootlegs from videos I've seen. So, yeah. And now, let's take a look at what you do if you put these in a computer. So, first of all, with My Neighbours the Yamadas, scanning it in onto this program that I use, it will say that it's a Region 2 DVD and it has region protection and copy protection. And then on the side, it will say, well, it's very hard to read because of the thing, but if you open it up, it'll display the video content on it. And of course, this is a dual layer disc because, well, it is. And then, as for the bootleg DVD, if you can see here, it displays all regions. So it's a region 0 disc, and if you can see here, there's no region or copy protection at all. So no region protection, no copy protection, no protection of any kind, and that's another sign that you're dealing with a bootleg DVD, is that there's no protection of any form. However, what is really weird with this release is if I highlight it, it's actually a dual layer disc as well. And this is actually a complete rip of the real DVD. From what I can tell, like, everything's there, although it doesn't contain any of the special features. And then when you open it up, well, because I'm using VLC, the beginning doesn't show. It displays the menu in Japanese. And then when you get to the language selection, you have Japanese voice tracks and some English and French subtitles. And I'm just going to pause this. And the quality, and if you look very closely at the quality, it's not that bad, actually. I don't know if it's a rip from the Blu-ray or something, but because I don't have the real deal, but if you look closely, it has languages that you don't see on the other side. So you have not just Japanese, but you have the French, Korean, and Chinese dubs as well. Cantonese and Mandarin, I think. So the real DVD only has Japanese, whilst these languages appear on the Blu-ray. So I'm guessing the sound voice tracks were ripped from the Blu-ray, whilst this DVD is a rip from the actual Japanese DVD. But still, I'm kind of surprised that a company would go this far to make a really good-looking bootleg, other than the fact the packaging shows other signs of it being, you know, fake. But still, its sole intention is to fool people. So there you are. And so that's the video of me comparing, well, this bootleg version of Arrietty to a real Japanese Ghibli Ippai Studio Ghibli DVD release. Once again, it could all depend. Like, as I said, I did compare a bit of it with my copy of Tales from Earthsea. Once again, this is the real deal. And in fact, as I said, all of these are all the real legit releases as well. But once again, as I said, if it has a slip cover and it's a Japanese release, it's fake. And another thing I forgot to mention is that although this might not apply to all Ghibli releases, but every modern Ghibli release I know of, apart from maybe this one and maybe one or two others, if it just has a single disc, it's also fake as well. Because actual retail Ghibli releases are supposed to come with 2 discs. And from what I can tell, because this didn't have the special features or anything, despite them being promoted on the back, I do believe that the disc is ripped from the rental version, which would only have the movie on anyway. But still, just be careful when you're purchasing stuff online, because you might come into bootlegs like these. And also, if you look very closely, the thing's already coming off. Welcome to the dark side. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.